To launch a campaign, click on the Launch Campaign button, and then you'll see a dialog that looks something like this. On the left-hand side, we have the library, which includes everything we need to launch a campaign. So the content and where the content will go, the destination groups. So we've already created some sites. Let's select a group, whatever you named it. You can select it from a list by clicking on this button. I'm just going to go through and choose another plumbing network I've already created. Now, when we've got the content put in here, we'll do that in a second, we'll be able to drag and drop it onto the different tiers and have it interlink and publish onto all these sites. There's a lot to this. We can create lots of different types of campaigns, lots of interlinking, different tiered content, siloing, all sorts of things. But for now, we're just going to talk about what this is doing and how it works. So skipping over the left-hand side for a second, in the center, we have the diagram or the linking structure. This is represented in a simplified way by the nodes, these little boxes here, and then these tiers, the A, B, C, and we can even add more as well. Now, it's much more randomized than this and individual when we actually publish the pages and the algorithm goes through and creates them. But this is visualized for us because we don't want to look at 10,000 little tiny dots everywhere. So when we're working in this, we can see that we're going to have 100 pages that link out to something. So the very top of this pyramid is 100 pages. Then that's being backlinked every page by 1, 2, 3 other pages. So there'll be 300 in this tier, 100, 100, 100. And then they are also being backlinked by 2 pages. And therefore we have about 600 back here. So all in all, we have about 1,000 pages as it's set up right now over 10 nodes. When we're doing outbound linking, we're really only thinking of this node up the top here or on the left. This is the ones that are going to link outwards, and the rest of these are going to be between domains, between sites, or in the same category, or even internally. So when we launch 1,000 pages, we're not going to get 1,000 backlinks if we want to do something like that. We're only going to get 100. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to leave everything as it is. But I do suggest you have a play and drag and drop some things around and see what happens. And we're also going to skip over to the right-hand side finally to talk about just some general settings. So in the top right, we have the details, which is just an idea of how long it's going to take to publish, with your current publishing schedule you've set, the amount of pages and the amount of pages per site. We have 500 sites in this group over 16 domains. So we can, 500 and 1,000 pages. We've got an average of 2 pages per site. If we were to increase this to something like 10,000, then we would have 20 pages per site. So if we wanted to launch this over a month, we'd have about 1 page per site per day. On the right-hand side, we also have a bunch of other quick settings, things like set posting schedule, which will set the posting schedule. Right now, it's set from 5 days from now to 30 days from now, so about 25 days, and it won't start publishing immediately. So instead, let's backdate this by 14 days to 0 days. So it'll actually be all published as of when we click launch, and backwards also a couple weeks. There are other things like variables and extra settings, but we won't go into those right now. And then finally, we have the advisor, which is just going to give us some hints of any configuration mistakes we might have made or advice on better ways to set up the campaign. Now, there is one issue. We haven't set any content yet, so we can't actually launch the campaign. So for now, we're going to just manually write a little piece of content so we can click on the launch button. Do look out though, there will be more videos and more documents for how to generate content, not by hand, of course. So anyway, let's do that now. Let's write a H tag and say, hey there, and write a body, say, welcome to Menterprise. And as soon as we do that, we can see that the launch button is ready to go. Now, when we talk about generating content, we're also going to talk about siloing the content, adding different categories and things like that. But for now, let's click on launch.